The animation begins with a lone stickman sitting by a calm sea, holding a simple fishing line, with no one else around and only the sound of gentle wind and waves. The scene then cuts to him inside a small hut, watching an old TV that suddenly displays his own face with the word "Wanted" below it, accompanied by a soft electronic beep. As night falls, the stickman is seen running through an empty street, panicked and breathing heavily. Eye stopping only when he thinks he sees a light behind him. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small, worn photograph of his family, looking at it for a long moment before silently putting it away. Finally, he sits against a wall in a dark corner, and a single tear rolls down his face. As the tear hits the ground, the screen cracks and fades to black. When the screen returns, it shows a wanted poster nailed to a wall featuring his stickman face stamped with a red mark, leaving only silence. The animation begins with the stickman waking up inside a dark, moving truck, surrounded by old boxes and garbage, with only small holes letting in light. He peeks through a hole and sees the city getting farther away, replaced by empty roads and dry land. The truck stops after some time, and he quietly jumps out, landing on soft sand in the middle of a desert with no buildings or people in sight. He starts walking under the hot sun, his steps slow and heavy, wiping sweat from his forehead as the sun moves across the sky. After walking for what feels like hours, he finds a small broken bus stop with a torn bench and sits down to rest, pulling out the half-torn family photograph again and staring at it. As evening comes, a dusty car stops nearby, and an old stickman gets out to check his tire, giving the fugitive a chance to hide behind the bus stop. But the old man notices him and just nods silently, then leaves a water bottle on the bench before driving away, showing a small act of kindness. The stickman drinks the water, and as night falls, he continues walking under a sky full of stars, completely alone. The next morning, he reaches a small village with simple houses and a few people, but when he tries to buy food, a young boy recognizes him from a newspaper and runs away, screaming. Panicked, the stickman runs into a nearby forest, hiding behind trees as villagers search for him with flashlights and sticks, their shadows growing long and scary in the dark. He finds a small cave and sits inside, listening to their footsteps getting closer, then farther, until finally silence returns. Days pass in the cave, shown through quick cuts of him drinking rainwater, eating small fruits, and constantly looking out with tired eyes. One night he decides to leave and walks for hours until he reaches a river where a small boat is tied to a tree. He gets in and rows across the water, the moon reflecting on the surface, and on the other side, he sees the lights of a new city, offering both hope and danger. As he steps onto the land, a police car passes by slowly, and he freezes against a wall until it disappears. The animation ends with him walking into the city lights, disappearing among the crowd, but a single security camera on a pole slowly turns and points directly at where he just stood, leaving the audience with a feeling that someone is always watching.